Let's go! The markets may be seeing corrections across the board, but that does not mean that it is time to take a day off from crypto. I know that dips like these can be scary and frustrating, but if you are disciplined in your investing, they can be some of the best buying opportunities available during bull runs. Last week, if someone had offered the opportunity to buy Bitcoin below $31,000, Ethereum at about 1,100, or Polkadot at $16, there would have been crowds of people excited for that chance. Well, this is that opportunity. Bitcoin still functions the same as it always has. Ethereum still has amazing and innovative projects built on it, and Polkadot is still creating a platform for universal interoperability. Fundamentally, nothing has changed with cryptocurrencies themselves. We are just seeing a significant period of sell pressure that is driving price down. If you believe that specific coins are going to be successful in the long term, then dips are just opportunities to buy more or lower your cost basis. While this is a good time to be looking for coins to buy in general, in this video I will be covering a specific genre of coins that has the potential to see significant growth in the future, and that is privacy coins. I will be explaining why these coins have potential in general, and then going over two different tokens and explaining a bit more about them, as well as what makes them stand out from others. Before I go any farther, one thing must be addressed about privacy coins, and that is their reputations. I am sure that you have either read or heard somewhere the blanket statement that privacy coins are only used by people doing illegal things like laundering money and buying illegal goods. While there is no doubt that some of the people who utilize privacy coins do so to hide illegal activities, however, that could be said about practically every other currency in the world. For example, just in the United States, roughly $300 billion are laundered annually. On a global scale, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime estimates that $2.4 trillion are laundered each year. This goes far beyond the scale even remotely possible through privacy coins, and these activities have been happening since long before any cryptocurrencies even existed. It is pretty easy to see that these coins were not created to enable criminals, but rather because the teams creating them believe that every individual should have the right to keep their financial information private from every other individual. This is a feature that Bitcoin does not provide, which is actually what inspired some of the largest privacy coins. If you have not taken the time to understand how Bitcoin actually works, then you may assume from how the media discusses it that Bitcoin transactions are private and hence it is used for nefarious purposes. This could not be further from the truth. Every transaction that takes place on the Bitcoin blockchain is publicly recorded for anyone to see. Think about that in this way. How would you feel if anyone in the world could see how much money you had in your bank accounts, where you spent that money, who you spent that money to, and who you received it from? That probably does not sound like something you would want, even if you have no illegal activities to hide. It is simply a matter of wanting privacy. You may be thinking, how could someone find my real identity if my Bitcoin address is just a bunch of letters and numbers? Well, if you have ever purchased crypto from an exchange with fiat, that is the link to your identity. And even if you did not, if someone is determined enough, they can discover the IP address that transactions were made from. This is why privacy coins were created. A lot of people who want to use cryptocurrency as an actual currency, not simply as an investment, desire the privacy afforded to them by coins such as Monero, Dash, Zcash, and others. Another factor that could increase demand for privacy coins is the imminent arrival of central bank digital currencies. CBDCs will be controlled by governments, and the networks they run on will be managed in a centralized format. This is worrisome to many people for multiple reasons. First, it is possible that certain governments could use CBDCs to increase financial discrimination. This is already being seen in a sense in parts of the UK, where certain banks have stopped allowing deposits to be made if the money being deposited is from profits related to cryptocurrency. Another worry is that it will be easier for hackers to harvest CBDC users' financial data because of the electronic transaction histories available. People who want to avoid these issues if they occur, or who want to act preemptively, will likely look to privacy coins to maintain their financial anonymity and freedom. Now that we have established that there is demand for these coins, let's look at two specific privacy coins and what makes them special. Up first is the standard when it comes to privacy, and that is Monero. Monero describes itself as a fast, private, and secure cash for a connected world that allows you to be your own bank while knowing that others cannot see your balances or track your activity. Unlike cryptos such as Bitcoin and Ethereum that utilize transparent blockchains, Monero's blockchain is opaque, meaning that it uses cryptography to shield sending and receiving addresses as well as the amounts being transacted. Monero uses what is known as always-on privacy, which just means that every transaction is secure by default. Monero originated in 2014 as a fork of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first real implementation of CryptoNote, which is an application layer similar to Bitcoin's but with various improvements. Unfortunately, Bitcoin was surrounded by some scandals, as 80% of the coins were pre-mined. Because of this, the chain was forked and Monero was created with a fair token distribution. What makes Monero special? It is fungible, scalable, ASIC miner resistant, and of course, private. Fungible simply means that each XMR token is indistinguishable from any other XMR token. This matters because it negates discrimination against the funds. For example, some bitcoins are looked upon unfavorably because if you track their transaction history, they were used for gambling or other illicit activities. By making every coin identical, Monero solves this issue. Monero solves scalability by not having a set block size. It also implements a block reward penalty to discourage miners from creating oversized blocks. Being ASIC miner resistant means that the fastest thing someone can mine XMR with is a GPU. This helps negate small groups from controlling a very large amount of the network hash power. For its privacy features, Monero utilizes ring signatures. The simple way to understand these is to imagine that you are standing in a circle with several other people, and each person wants to give money to someone else, not within that circle. Everyone mixes up their money that is being sent, and then it is distributed to the recipients. This is a very simple explanation of the technology, but it gets the idea across. No one can tell who sent how much to anyone else when they use Monero. Up next is Halving, which uses the token XHV. Halving has taken the idea behind privacy coins and turned it into something far more complex, an entire ecosystem of digital private assets. Seen as Monero is the industry standard for privacy, the Halving team decided to simply build their project on top of it. By building on top of Monero, Halving inherited all of the privacy and security functions associated with Monero, such as the ring transactions and stealth addresses. Halving then went on to add extra functionality such as private stable currencies and commodities. This is a very important development because while Monero is useful for transactions where you buy XMR and then send it immediately, it is not the best if you want to hold money long term privately. This is because, like most cryptos, XMR is fairly volatile. Halving's XUSD stablecoin solves this problem. However, the most exciting part is yet to come. The Halving team is currently developing synthetic private commodities as well as other currency options. The first to be released will be XCNY, XEuro, XBTC, XGold, and XSilver. These are versions of the Chinese yen, the euro, Bitcoin, gold, and silver that will be able to be privately transacted and stored in the Halving protocol. This will allow users to basically have the equivalent of private vaults where they can store their digital assets. All of these synthetic versions will be pegged to the real price of their respective assets through price feeds supplied through the Chainlink oracles. This is just the beginning of what could evolve into a privacy and security focused version of the normal financial system if people start utilizing these services. So, what do you think about privacy coins? Let me know down in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe if you are not yet subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next video.